So in the previous video, I noticed the magic eye was not reacting on the high shortwave band, and subsequently I noticed it's also not working on the long wave band, which I have yet to align here. So I thought I'd poke around with that for a little while. It's a very curious problem, and I literally was poking away in here, and then I got to just moving stuff. You see the short circuit indicated here? This is the grid to chassis resistance. This is the grid to chassis resistance from the first 6K7. I picked that because that's a grid bus or an AVC bus, and the Magic Eye is connected to it also. So I thought the Magic Eye stops working. I guess the Magic Eye grid is getting nothing, or something's going wrong there. So I just hooked up my own meter basically to the grid of the Magic Eye, just same as the grid of the first 6K7. Eventually I found this. I look a little bit closer, and some of these wires that travel down behind these plates to attach down here, they are the problem. There is a short circuit. He says it's supposed to be 1200 is what I typically get there. So it's a matter of tracking that down precisely. So I'm moving these wires a lot. It's not doing much to the meter. Must be something else that's getting shorted in there. Just going to get these out of the way. This. I thought it was these wires right here. I don't think so. Right. I always forget. Okay. That looks good. We should see a very high resistance here. I'm on the grid of the tube relative to the chassis. And I would make right in the antenna circuits more or less. So that's the end of it, eh? Is it? I took that plate out, and the problem's gone. They're all working the same now. Whoops. 1.2 megohms. Yeah, absolutely consistent. So this plate is doing something in there. It could be. Let's try and move in a few parts here. Just see. I have a cold solder joint that I'm flexing. This isn't totally stable. And I've seen this kind of thing quite often, where it just seems to cycle up and down between a couple voltages. This is just a few volts change, but I've seen it with much larger changes. And in a passive situation, I have no idea why the meter does that, or what is going on that would make it do that. Just another, to add it to the list. Oh, so what did I just touch there? So this, I think, is the correct reading, 1.23. So I think some of that is my fingers actually conducting between parts. Oh, that was interesting. What, right up in here. Whoa, something very sensitive right up in here. Right where I soldered a capacitor, right where it's really hard to see. Let's get in there and get a look, because I think I might have put a cold joint in there, or some other thing has happened right in there. So let's go take a look. Camera in there. Very good. I think that's good. Oh! Well, I can see the solder. Did I actually solder it at all? Did it? Oh, yeah. Well, somewhat. Yeah. And then there's the resistor right in here. Seem to be super sensitive. So meter, there we go. Now the meter is showing the 1.2 million ohm reading. Get in this way here. Take another look at it. Hold still. What exactly is going on there? So I think I soldered the capacitor to the leg of the resistor. It looks like a cold solder joint to me. It's just a capacitor though. How's that going to shorts or open? There's another wire in there. What's it doing exactly? A bare one. The resistor's not looking very healthy either. Brown, black, yellow. So it's supposed to be 100K. Resistor. Just whack this with more solder. So that resistor lead, I think, is what's sticking out there. Let me operate the switch and just watch the mechanics happen here. Maybe we'll see something. Yeah, nothing happening anywhere near this piece. See if I can get in there with a tool and flex it. I think really what I got to do is just resolder this and then test again. And whack the camera. I wonder if the resistor's in trouble. This is all at a view, at a normal view. Without the camera, I wouldn't see any of this. The meter is jumping all over the place here. Let me look up. Well, I can't really look up from under. Maybe I can look across from here. See it. I just really can't make out what I'm looking at. What's this one look like? Same sort of deal? It is the same sort of deal. You flex that bare wire there. We'll see what happens on the meter. Flexing. Not doing anything. And flex that resistor. Oh, it's just barely touching it here. I mean, really, just barely. It's coming back. The resistor is going in and out. The capacitor is charging up without the resistor there. And it doesn't quite make sense, but I think it's a matter of just resoldering. Let's try that. Let's give that a go. Excuse me. Continuing my fight with my cold. The right one. Here we are. Excuse me. Okay, now. Yeah, it's no wonder I didn't get this. It's right back here. Bit of a wonder if this is going to get it. Okay, everything seemed loose. Everything seems loose. What I meant by that was the solder had come completely liquid on the terminal. Reader up. It's got the right number on it. Not if I fool around in here now. Okay, so if my fingers touch something there, but I would think touching something would only reduce the resistance there. Oh, still doesn't seem right. Something else involved. All this other stuff. Oh, what did I touch there? Almost anything back here. This wire. Still doing what it did. Could be that resistor is bad. Occasionally it's jumping up over the range of the meter. It's going open circuit, I think it's like that. Whoa, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. How can that possibly? Instead of sticking a wet finger in there, let's stick this dry piece of metal. Okay, so I'm going to try to hook that resistor and move it around a bit. Okay, I'm moving it. It comes right back. So if the resistor is fractured inside, moving it a bit would cause the fracture to change, the resistance would change. If it's returning back to some set number all the time, that's a suggestion of just cold solder joint.
about down under here? What about this thing? Nope. Okay, what about the one I just soldered? Okay, right on the lead of the resistor. Didn't really do it either. So what's doing it? It's my wet finger. This. What I'm doing now is I'm separating some of the wires that are bunched up quite tightly here. Okay, let's just keep doing that. Move each wire individually, trying to figure out which is the really sensitive thing here. My big fat fingers pushing on too much stuff at once. Okay, now the back side of the capacitor, front side, body, doing anything. Okay, now resistor, body. Something to do with this resistor. So either the resistor is failing inside some way, and as for just, I don't know how it would be that the band switch would trigger to go in and out of its failure mode. You know, it is right on the switch, but I can't imagine it gets worked. I don't know what to think of that. Poke it again. Move this part right out of the way here. I can't do it. Okay, let's poke the other side of this resistor. I just barely touched it. So next move's got to be to get that resistor out of there and put a new one in, and see if that settles this thing down. Okay, so I've got my other camera sitting right here. Kind of looking down in behind. Actually get quite a good view of it here. That resistor. Boy, oh boy. So that this does not look like fun at all. Trying to preserve a little bit of lead so we can look at this resistor afterwards, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be cut pretty, oh, maybe a touch there. Let me get the other one. The other lead. I think it's even harder to get at. So much for my alignment. This might blow the alignment up, at least on this band. There he is. What of it? Yeah, it's cut pretty flush, so I don't think I'm going to bother trying to test it or anything. I'm just going to try and stick another one in there. Why wouldn't I go right over top of here? Why loop it around the back there? I don't know. Okay. I'm going to stick a new resistor in there. Okay, let's see if I can pinch this down on a little wire tail. I don't think so. Not with these pliers. Maybe with these. I don't think so. pull it, tie it on. Just solder that like that. Solder it without burning everything in there. Oh, almost knocked it right off. Okay, pretty sure that's soldered quite thoroughly, in fact. Some of it, anyway. Let's see if we can get the other side soldered. That's more important. We're gonna go. Oh, man. Whoops. Not quite sure how I'm gonna pull this off here. Literally. Oh, I almost got it there. Good. How am I going to get rid of the excess wire that's down in there? That's not going to happen very well. Boy, I got just way too much wire in there. Probably should have trimmed it before getting in there. Put another break in the coil wire. Oh, it fell right down. Fell right out. Good show. Lucky me. We'll see if we can just. Hey, that'll do it. I can definitely tack onto that. working with a 100,000 ohm resistor. A few ohms in the connection won't matter. That's not wrecking my camera. I can't look up. Okay, it's soldered in there. Pretty sure. Let's see. Get a little grip on it here. Just double check. Yeah. Okay, maybe I can get more of that tail out of there. Go. Okay, he's in there. Let's see what's happened to the resistance now. Did it stabilize? Oh, it's the right number. Band change. Not dropping to 0 like it was. Oh, whoa, what was that? For a moment, maybe it went open. That's beautiful. That's got it already. Let's give it the finger test here. What's all that nonsense there? So I think that's me shorting it out with my finger. Yeah, because it comes right back on its own. Okay, I think we fixed the magic eye. And that also, not only was the magic eye not working, but the AVC was not reaching a couple of tubes there. It's not reaching the magic eye, it's not reaching a bunch of tubes. So that says something about the work I was doing with this defective situation. What exactly does it say? You have to redo the alignment? Oh no! You know what? I think that's the only way to be sure. I gotta put this panel back in. Okay, but let's test this. Let's test the magic eye here. Oh, it's gonna take a moment to get that set up. So I fired up the radio, assured of success, and nope. Didn't work out. So I have the ohm meter back in place. It's reading the resistance of the grid bus, if you like, or AVC bus would be a better word for it. I'm just going to put my finger in here and touch this a little wee bit. Oh my god, I could have sworn I didn't even touch anything. I just brushed this. Look at that. Just touching this. Hey, there's more than one thing going on here. The yellow capacitor right next to the resistor I just put in. Didn't do anything. Resistor. Really good push and something does happen. Dirty switch. You dirty, filthy switch, you.
I don't think so, because small movements of the switch rotor don't cause the effect. I've moved it quite a distance. Rated to the next notch. Now it's not saying. Oh, yeah. Touching one wire, no. Another wire, no. Down here, no. There's quite a few wires here to manipulate. Nope, none of them did anything. Pushing on the big yellow capacitor. Nothing. And the resistor. Plate. It's got to be these wires. It must be these wires. Take this plate out. Oops. I figure, I accidentally touch the coil or a terminal or something like that. It can really make the meter jump. Okay, I think I spotted the problem here. Let me just follow these wires down. I spotted this earlier and then I decided it was not a problem. But this time I've got better lighting and a better look at it. And I can see the conductor inside that wire. And that must be shorting onto the housing. Fix that. Well, I put everything together and it continued to act up, so have a look at this. Try and have a look at this. That wire. The black one with the obvious conductor showing right there where the metal where this lands right on it. Oop. Okay, I think I got it now. Is it steady? It wanders around a bit like that. It's not dropping to zero. Oh, I thought I had this tighter. These are a real problem. The way these were made and the like.
Okay, well, I can get that tightened up.
But I think I've solved the other problem. 2 shorts. Whew, that was a tougher than expected go. So let's give the radio a test. Okay, this meter won't be doing anything. We really want to look at the eye here. It's really what we're after. Okay, power on. That's the eye. Volume here. Sound would be appreciated. Okay, I'm going to put it on full power. Volume here. Oh, what's the problem now? Well, it could be it's just simply not tuned into the signal. Okay, so Magic Eye has come on. Let's get some sound out of here. We'll switch to the AM band. There we are. Now we got some noise. Let's tune it around. Okay, AM band. There we go. It's not really on an antenna. What is it hooked up to? It's hooked up to the, oh my gosh, the signal generator. That's a terrible antenna. Signal here. So we're tuned to around 620 or so. You know what? I'm going to put on the right antenna here. Okay, there's the AM radio. Let's turn around and watch that eye. Good. Okay, we'll experiment now. That's the eye. Maybe it's not connected in the best place. So I'm just going to measure the voltage on the eye grid here. On here. It's just a couple volts.
And the like, or do bizarre that's outside of what would be acceptable by a normal citizen. And I just wish we had some smart properly.
Let's look at another spot here.
This is what we're looking for.
It's different. This on, I put it on the 15 volt scale because it'll make me feel better.
Such a shoe ringing right here.
Wow. A little more voltage now. Well, let's try the indoor antenna here.
out with them heading home up 2-0. Is the question now, is this series over? Oh, this is tempting to say, isn't it? It is the most tempting thing in sports talk across North America today to get on a mic and say, jam done with your butter on a roll. Continuing with that theme. Right. It is the take du jour to say that this thing is done and dusted. How on earth? The Nationals are nearly 20 games above 500 at home during the regular season. How on earth are they going to blow a 2-0 series? Right. And since it's, you know that, right? It's only 3 times previously a team that's World Series, correct?
Detector voltage.
Because after all the things we saw sort of through this election,
Right on the detector.
and I think the public's tired of hearing about them, but he escaped and he made it through on the other side with something pretty darn close to a majority. Quite.
That's what's there.
But within striking zone of getting enough people on his side. I agree, though, with Scott to reach out to the prairies. They sent a strong message. I hope he can get this pipeline built, and I hope he learns that he needs to deal and switch modes in how he governs and be collaborative to get things put through, particularly with the NDP. I mean, I don't know how this is going to square up with the pipeline, but he's working hard, hopefully, at it.
ABC
and,
was getting all the way up to 15
One thing that
volts.
does worry me is the public sentiment on how they
Because
look
it
at
was
government
blasting
and the
it with a
backroom
ridiculous
deals
signal
that might
from the
be
signal
occurring over
generator.
the next number of months to get
Let's
things
try
passed
that.
through. I'm not...
Medium shortwave. That's high shortwave. Around 10 megacycles.
Para que sigáis investigando, que hay recursos para recuperar esa memoria. Y muchísimas gracias por porque estamos explicándonos cómo se hace.
You gotta be kidding me.
Asentamientos militares.
Shortwave.
Muchas gracias a vosotros y ya os digo, que no falten los recursos.
Ojalá. La hora.
Get right here. Let's see what the ABC voltage.
Una sección en colaboración con la Fundación Internacional.
Bueno, pues seguimos en Marca España. La corrupción
volts.
y la trata de personas están
Let's watch the
íntimamente ligadas. La Operación Pública del Mundo, la sección de la Fundación FIAP en nuestro programa, se va a centrar esta semana en los vínculos existentes entre
This is,
ambos delitos. Porque
surprising that this is coming in.
están escuchando lo que nos cuentan
I'm
Charo
going to
Paloma
connect
y
the
Nadia
outdoor
Moreno.
antenna.
¿Sufren las mujeres los impactos de la corrupción? ¿Qué
Oh,
mujeres y por qué?
I did connect the
La
outdoor
la
antenna,
corrupción
that's
se
why it's
relaciona
there.
con las mujeres y les afecta tienen muchas vertientes. Hoy nos centramos en una de esas vertientes, la relación entre trata
Pretty
y
good. Let's see
corrupción.
what else we can find, Eureka.
La trata de personas es un delito en el que se aprovecha de la vulnerabilidad de la víctima.
The antenna you're listening to right now is not actually switched on for the shop. I'm going to run and switch it on. See what happens.
God be my help. How can we talk about today with war? The main thing that God has done
Fortunately, I wasn't here to find out if that made a difference or not. Another thing is, I don't have the antenna grounded. Let's try it. Sometimes it works. Ground? That's often what happens. The ground get disconnected.
Tanto en la prevención como en la persecución penal.
Por ejemplo, fomentando las denuncias y la protección de denunciantes.
O a través de estrategias para sensibilizar y visibilizar la problemática. Escuchamos a Ana Linda Solano.
La importancia de iniciar tempranamente estrategias tanto de prevención como de persecución de la corrupción en la trata de personas. Es decir, transversalizar los riesgos de la corrupción, generar acciones anticorrupción en la lucha contra la trata de personas, quita que un facilitador y por tanto es una manera de normar la importancia o la relevancia de este gran flagelo donde se manifiesta.
Y en esta misma línea se expresa la fiscal Viviana Andrea Barroso.
Habría también que hacer todo lo que sea educación,
Sea de los fiscales,
o sea a través de la educación básica que es en las escuelas públicas, hacerle saber a la ciudadanía en general que eso es un delito y que si lo ven tienen que denunciarlo, darles el instrumento, digamos.
Eurosocial Plus ha conseguido poner alrededor de una misma mesa a representantes
de fiscalías anticorrupción y de trata y representantes de la sociedad civil.
Y esto ha permitido que emerjan ideas e incluso logros ya obtenidos.
Y empezamos con la conclusión extraída por Ana Linda Solano de este encuentro.
Y en términos legales se ha concluido que sin corrupción no hay trata.
Acompáñanos a través de tu radio, de Radio Exterior de España.
La sociedad actual cada vez está más preocupada por la salud, por la dieta sana, y son muchas las empresas de alimentación con mucha le hemos podido aportar nuestro know-how.
Okay, so I'm sure we're listening to either Radio Marti out of Florida or Radio Cuba. There should be a fairly strong signal here, so that's really good. That's great. So I think that's it for getting the Magic Eye to operate. I'm not sure what's next. What's next? My gosh, is there anything else in here I can find that's wrong at this point? I think I got it all done. I think I got everything. Wow. Put it together and listen to it in its cabinet.